Hey everyone, today we're going to show you how to change the oil on your 2023 and newer Suzuki V-Strom. It should be done at 600 miles for the break-in service, and then you're going to want to do it every 3,750 miles thereafter. It's really simple to do. Let's go ahead and get started. To get this done, we have our Tusk 4-stroke oil change kit. Comes with your choice of oil, an oil filter, a funnel, and a new crush washer. I also have some contact cleaner to help clean things up once we're done. If you need any of this stuff, you can head over to our website or just click the link in the description below. To do this, we've got several common hand tools. So we have a 17mm socket for the drain plug. You also need an oil filter wrench. This is the adjustable one from K&L. We've got a torque wrench, a drain pan measuring cup, safety glasses, rubber gloves, rags, and you also need a jumper wire to reset your oil service light interval. We've made that with some wire strippers. We've got our Tusk skid on this bike, but if you're still running the stock skid, you'll need to go ahead and remove that as well. Then we can start the engine and run it for 2 to 3 minutes and get that oil warmed up. After you shut it off, you want to place a drain pan underneath. And then right here next to the cooling reservoir, we've got an oil filter and the drain plug. They're kind of hard to see, and we also removed the cover for that coolant reservoir to better show this process. So we've already cleaned around the filter and drain plug. You don't want any dirt getting somewhere it shouldn't be. I'm going to use my 17mm socket to remove that drain plug. You might have to lift the pan and move it out so it doesn't spill everywhere. Next, we're going to remove this oil filter using the oil filter socket. Again, we've got a few different options on the website. You can see this one was on there real snug. You'll be glad you had one of those oil filter wrenches. Suzuki, the filters are a little bit different. A lot of times they'll go 1 to 2 turns after the gasket seats. So they can be on there pretty snug. Now with the oil filter, I do want to point out that the manual only calls for replacement every 11,250 miles, but it's inexpensive insurance. We just get it done every time. I'm going to wipe down the sealing surface for the filter and drain plug with a rag. Now to install the oil filter, I'm going to apply a little bit of oil to this O-ring. Now to install the oil filter, you'll notice the threads are a little more fine than most, and because of that, once the gasket lightly touches the sealing surface, you'll need to tighten the filter 2 full revolutions or to 15 foot-pounds if you're going to torque it down. We can go ahead and clean up our drain plug. We're going to replace the crush washer. We're going to install that and torque it to 17 foot-pounds. Next, we'll spray some contact cleaner onto a rag and clean up any oil residue. Then we can go to the other side of the bike and remove the oil fill cap. Then we're going to use our Tusk funnel. And if you change the oil filter like us, it's going to be 3,500 milliliters. If you did not change the oil filter, it's just going to be 3 liters. Then make sure the cap is clean and the sealing surface. Then we can reinstall the cap, install your skid plate. Run the bike for 1 or 2 minutes. Shut it off, let it sit for a minute, and then you're going to want to check the oil level in your sight glass. If it's too low, make sure you add some oil until it's in between the marks on that window. And it's very important when you're checking the level, make sure the bike is held upright on a level surface. Now underneath the seat, you have this red connector. I'm going to push in on the tab and pull that down and then release it from that holder right there. So there's a toggle switch available from Suzuki that allows you to put the bike in dealer mode and reset that service light. But if you don't want to spend the money on that toggle, what you can do, you can take this jumper wire, and next to this flat edge, you want to jump each corner together. So I've twisted this tight. I'm plugging this in. And you want to make sure this is a good connection, or the DTC light that should pop up on your screen will not come on. So we've got our good connection. Let's go move up towards the dash. Up here at the dash, I'm going to turn the key on. You're going to see that screen that says DTC for a second. If you don't see that, it means the jumper wire is not connected all the way. Now, from here, we're going to use these arrows and the mode button. So I'm going to hold the up arrow for a couple seconds. That's going to bring up your menu. Just scroll down and hit mode for enter. We're going into service info. Scroll down to next service. And then we have the option to reset. So if your jumper wire is not completely connected, it's not going to give you the option to reset. So if it's not popping up for some reason, look into that. You also want to make sure you have the correct date on your bike. So from here we can hit mode, and this is going to give us a 1-year interval. We can change that to whatever we want, but that sounds good to me. And this is going to give you a 600 mile to 7,500 mile range to reset the interval. So you want to look at your owner's manual or service manual and see when the next service is due. So for us, that's going to be 3,750. The closest option we have is 3,700 miles. So we're going to go ahead and set that there. And from here we can just exit. And we're good to go. So that's it for changing the oil on your 2023 and newer Suzuki V-Strom. If you have any questions, leave those down in the comments below. If you need any of the oil change parts or any other service items for your machine, you can find that stuff on our website or just click the link. And if you want to see more helpful content like this, subscribe to our channel. I'm Charles with Rocky Mountain ATV MC. Thanks for watching.